Hello, it's Trews election week. Let's look at the propaganda of the Conservative Party. They're the ones that are in charge at the moment. So all of the stuff they're saying they will do, why don't they just do it now anyway?
This is a party election broadcast by the Conservative Party.
Brilliant, I love those guys.
What do I want for my children?
It's interesting that the first thing they do is they negotiate you to the point where you feel most vulnerable. Where are people most likely to be frightened and emotional? I suppose they're children. Everyone wants their children to be safe. Yes, that's right. Vote Conservative. Otherwise, your children will be in terrible trouble.
I want them to be happy and secure.
We're doing a party political broadcast. Well, I'll tell you one thing. Don't let any of them wankers in the government in it, because everyone fucking hates them. What about some little children that we threaten? Good start.
But I also want them not to have any worries and not to have anything holding them back.
It's like so weird, isn't it? Because it's sort of like so folky, like adverts look now. It's so folky and gentle, and the font of the "We Clear Our Deficit" so much like an art space and a little bouncy child's thing. I mean, imagine what politicians 50 years ago would even make of this thing. We'll clear the deficit so our economy is secure for the future. Last time they said, we'll create a new economic model built on investment and saving. Then what they've done was didn't clear the deficit, borrowed more in 3 years than Labour did in 13. Osborne overspent by 200 billion. The deficit is still at 80 billion despite that pledge. National debt is rising after 5 years of coalition and now stands at 1.4 trillion. A substantial amount of that was quantitatively eased into the city. 850 billion quantitatively eased into the city, admittedly under Labour, but that quantitative easing process continues now. That's giving your money to the city, because they lost it. Weird.
I want him to grow up in a Britain with opportunities where there are doors open to him.
And I'm Scottish, so I'm voting SNP anyway. I mean, that's a done deal.
So he can get on, get a good job, and make the most of his life.
Well, they might say in their art installation that they're going to back businesses and create jobs, but there are 700,000 people on 0-hour contracts. That's an increase of 300%. That's not good, is it? Most of the jobs they've created are part-time, and minimum wage isn't in accord with the cost of living, as that lad pointed out recently on that youth programme. What's the point of having a minimum wage if it's not enough to live on? The minimum amount, yes, it's less than you need to even stay alive. Boo! On the front page of the Telegraph, there's 5,000 small business owners signed a petition saying, look, this is going to balls things up if Labour get in and the SNP. I mean, look, we have small business people. You can trust us. They looked at the signatories. Most of them didn't even have a small business. How small is this business? It's about that big. I'm asking this little cell to buy something off of this guy. They won't do it, and it's because of Miliband.
I don't want him to have to worry about having to pay his bills each month.
Look how much the word worry and anxiety. So whilst it's all folky and guitar-y and nice little children playing, what this is actually about is playing on your fear.
I want him to work hard and know that he can support himself and his family.
900,000 people used food banks last year. That's not good, is it, surely? Poverty in the UK is at a 30-year high. I mean, the problem that a government always has when campaigning, unless they're going, look, you like things the way they are, we can carry on doing that if you want. You voted us in, we said we'd do some stuff, we've done it. We said we'd do some stuff, we didn't do it. We've made things worse than ever. Let us carry on doing it. We plan to continue to dismantle anything that's owned by communities and give it to our mates. But think of your children. Children. When they say cutting tax, they mean cutting tax for 13,000 millionaires, which they've done already, giving them 100 grand extra each. They raise VAT to 20%. That's a tax that everyone has to pay, regardless of how much they earn. So people are mostly 1,600 quid a year worse off. The 1% have got 112% richer. Normal folk are increasingly, well, fucked. Keep investing in, you know us, we're always investing in the NHS. Every time I turn on my TV set, you're making some cuts to it. 5,000 nurses were cut in 3 years. Who's up for that? These little brown children, the little blonde children, the Scottish bloke, the ducks.
I want them to get the skills they need to do whatever they want to.
Because like whistling our lives away is what they're actually doing. I see George Osborne and David Cameron just together. Fuck off!
I want them to be happy. I don't want them to have to worry about us when we're older.
We're the party of pensioners. They actually cut $5 billion from pension allowances that had already been established. Also, disability cuts have led to 60 people dying who needn't have done in 4 years. This is actually the nub of propaganda. To take people's emotional feelings and tie it through arbitrary means such as music and image to economic policies that do not relate in any way to the things that those people are saying. Sort of like the opposite of the truth in a little weird TV programme.
Like every parent, I have hopes for my children and dreams for their future. And what I want for them, I want for every child in this country.
Don't actually see Kyle in the bloody video, Dave. What I want for my children... Wait, hang on, did you just see Kyle in the party political broadcast? What? No, Jesus, I was the whistling guy. That was fun.
A good education, a decent job, great public services, a home of their own, and above all, the chance to make the most out of their life.
I mean, it's an excellent piece of propaganda in the purest sense because it takes some unrelated images and music and somehow tries to tie them to policies that we know are untrue because we've been toiling under their administration. What the Tories do does not relate in any way to the needs of ordinary people, except by accident. If the needs of those ordinary people momentarily align with the needs of big business, then the ordinary people will be alright. If the ordinary people move away, they are fucked. Just completely fucked. And if you don't know that, you've been watching too many of these videos.
So that's what our plan for Britain is all about. Securing a better future for your family and for all our children and grandchildren.
Subscribe here for the Trews. For God's sake, don't vote for the Tories.
Nose is a tool that is abused to fool you and to leave you scared and confused. Trews is like the nose. If the nose was true, I want some Trews. Let's have some Trews.